दास्तां है कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म ये मंजिलें है कौन सी ना वो समझ सके ना हम अजीब दास्तां है कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म ये मंजिलें है कौन सी ना वो समझ सके ना हम किसी का प्यार लेके तुम नया जहां बसाओगे किसी का प्यार लेके तुम नया जहां बसाओगे ये शान जब भी आएगी तुम हमको याद आओगे अजीब दास्तां है कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म ये मंजिलें है कौन सी ना वो समझ सके ना हम.
Welcome to yet another episode of Over a Cup of Tea, and today I feel much younger because I'm with teens and who have made their way into the business world, entrepreneurs of the next generation, and they have a company called Steam Engine, and I would like to steam it up a bit, starting with three of you, a company for kids to learn, a summer camp with a difference where it is not done by old people. It's not drab. It's not old. It's so fresh and new. So how come this particular idea popped up? Because you were all looking for summer jobs. And let me tell you, in many parts of the world, including a major portion of India, we have a lot of viewers here, and they have not understood even now the concept of young children working for summer jobs. It is only in the Western world where we find that. So it's a totally new arena for all the youngsters. So we'd like to hear from you how it all started and the name Steam Engine. I'm sure we were the last generation who traveled in a steam engine. Probably you've not even seen a steam engine. How come the word steam engine and how it started? Let me start with Sidharth.
Yeah, so we all were looking for summer jobs at the time because, we wanted to make some money. We also had some pressure from all our parents to, start looking for jobs and stuff because it would be good on our resume. So the name Steam Engine actually came from the word STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And STEAM also includes art in it. So that's where we really got the idea of Steam Engine. Nayanika actually made up the idea of the Steam Engine. And yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to art, Nayanika, before going to you, the art person is Shwetha, I believe, because Nayanika is into science and Sidharth is into coding. So art lady, Shwetha, tell me about how art for kids from a kid. Don't mind me calling you a kid.
Okay, so I feel like teaching a younger person art is something so calming and something that can really change a person's mind from all that stress from schoolwork, keeping relationships. It's just a lot of stress, right? And when you do art, it's very calming and you get to work another part of your brain. And teaching was actually a good experience. And I think the kids didn't mind that I was, a younger teacher. And they just thought like, okay, I was setting an example of how I can start a business with my cousins and, teach. And it was amazing.
Right. Coming to Nayanika, you yourself, you're a singer, you're a science enthusiast. I've heard you sing Hindi songs. So let me ask you, how science and art go together and how was teaching for you?
Well, honestly, I think that art itself is a science because there's such a technical, quality to it. So even though, I wasn't as well versed in visual arts and I'm more into the performing side of things, I always felt, growing up learning dance and music that everything has such a technique and precision to do things, that I always looked at it scientifically. Even when I was, 7 years old and learning, Bharatanatyam for the first time, it was still very, mathematical almost, the way that I was thinking of it. And, because I had such a early introduction to that type of thinking, going into school, I always felt more interested by the way, the ways of life, and looking at, the beyond just, oh, there's an anthill. What's in the anthill? How do the ants live in the anthill? All those things when I was 6, 7 years old were always just so fascinating to me. So when I realized that, I'm strong in science, I want to help other kids be at, look at it the way that I do. I realized that, in my own life, the biggest factors are my arts and my sciences. And I knew that Shwetha was really, I love her artwork. So I thought that she could really help these kids, really tap into that artistic side of their minds, like she said. So teaching was, you asked about teaching as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So teaching was definitely an experience. We had a very big age gap, like an age gap in the demographics. So we had, kids at 4 years old and kids at 12 years old. So we had to, change our teaching strategies to fit their needs. It was a challenge, to say the least, to, explain something as simple as evaporation. But for a 4-year-old, it's, the little water goes into the air. It's a very different way to go about it. But I felt that I was like solidifying my knowledge by passing it down. So I thought that was a very valuable experience.
Right. Sidharth, getting into coding now, it is the hep thing, what I should say, the hep thing to be in, like white hat and Python and all those technical jargons. But don't you feel that it quickly passes to something else? It becomes obsolete very fast. So as a teacher who is into coding, how do you find the whole scenario of coding as such, and teaching one particular stream of coding, and suddenly you find that tomorrow it is not there, something new has come up?
Well, yeah, so it's always changed. Things are changing every day, and their coding branches off into many different things. Like there is the practical side of coding where you can make algorithms to do certain tasks, and there's also the part of coding where you can make video games and stuff. So I definitely used coding to interest the kids by using the video game portion, because most kids at this age love playing games. They're always interested in these types of things. So I tried to show them how you can use coding to make games, and it can be a fun thing too. It doesn't have to be, all these random letters or numbers and like all this computer stuff that's overly complicated. I try to make it simple and fun for the kids.
Right. When steam engines started rolling, and the first experience of entrepreneurship, where sometimes I heard you talk about when they unsubscribe, you feel bad, and when somebody like says like I'm in, you get really happy. So how was the business world for you? Because yes, you made money, the company is running. So starting from just a thought about STEM to steam engine. And how was the business world for you? I would like to get answers from all three of you. Let me start with Shwetha.
So the business side, as we started off as a thought, we got together, we were just like pondering on the idea. We, just thought it very thoroughly. And after that, we found that we had to make this happen because we had such a strong passion for what we were doing. So, we got onto meetings every day, and time to time it would get a little bit stressful, but we managed to pull that off. And then once we got the classes starting, I think that we all enjoyed just teaching, getting the information across to the kids, and, making sure they have a fun time. And yeah.
Yeah, how about you, Nayanika?
Yeah, I think that when it comes to starting a business, you have to have a lot of I like to call it production work, as if, we're on a set, but pre-production, then during the production and post-production. So, leading up to the first week of classes, Shwetha, Sidharth, and I used to meet every single day and for at least an hour and a half. And we would just, put ideas into a spreadsheet, and Shwetha and I would try to coordinate our lessons. And there was many, things that we had to work out. But then on the business side of it, it was just promoting and marketing and getting people to know that we're doing this I think it was such a big challenge for us, because especially during COVID, where, we can't actually go out there and network in person. It was entirely on social media and, sharing stories and reposting this and, talking to this person. So all of that marketing, I think at the end kind of paid off, as we did manage to get somebody in our camp. But yeah, it was a lot of marketing, a lot of promotion that I don't think is focused on enough when people start businesses. It's a really, really big part to getting your business to launch, take off.
Your take on it, Sidharth.
Yeah, so the whole business thing was very intimidating, I think. So before the steam engine camp, I started to run my own coding classes on weekends for an hour only. And it was intimidating for that too, but it was only an hour one day every week. So I was okay with that. But then with the whole summer camp, this changes everything. It's not just 1 hour every week. Now it's, I forget, like 5 hours a day for like 3-4 months. So it was really intimidating to sit in front of the screen and then teach all these kids for this long and wonder, what are they thinking? Do they like the class? Do they not? Maybe do the parents not want to register? Do they want to register? How can we get them to? So it was really like hard and to get into the world. But once we were in it, I think we started to get more of an understanding of how everything works, and it really ended up being successful for us.
Yeah, usually in any summer camp, you have elderly people teaching kids, and I've been teaching in summer camps. You would have been in summer camps, and what are the shortcomings? Like, what is the difference Steam Engine made? Because you have felt that, this is drab, this is boring, so we need to make it fun. So what were the main aspects which makes Steam Engine the young blood, new generation summer camp? So what all did you find which was boring in your previous camps, which you attended?
So yeah, we all attended summer camps when we were young. We actually attended summer camps together because, as you mentioned before, we're cousins. So we really knew what we liked and what we didn't like. So one thing we liked a lot, even we did in our own free time, was this thing called Just Dance, where it's like they show a character on the screen and then you just have to dance. They dance and then you follow the dance. And what we did was we incorporated that during our breaks, so then they can move around and get some activity going on, and also have some fun and a creative side to it too. So that's one thing that we liked. I'll let Nayanika answer that.
Another thing that growing up in summer camps with Shwetha and Sidharth, we had this one camp that we went to every single year ever since we were at least, grade 4 or grade 5. And they would hold this competition throughout the week where, every kid who would put their plate away immediately would get a point, or they would answer questions and they would get a point. And I remember at the end of the week, Sidharth would always win the most amount of points. And I would just get so upset because I was always in second place. And, Sidharth gets the number 1 trophy and I get the number 2. And I was so upset about that. But I remember how just motivated I was to beat Sidharth. I didn't care about anyone else. It was just, I need to be higher than Sidharth. And I knew that like that part of that competition and that culture was such a, big memory from like me growing up in summer camps. So we did that in our camp, and we implemented this thing because we were in a steam engine. We put coal points because the steam engine runs on coal. And every time a kid would answer a question or, win a game, we would give them coal points. And that gave us this sense of like competition throughout the entire camp that we saw in ourselves at that age. which I'm really proud of ourselves that we pulled that off. I was scared that it would get like toxic or something, but it was really good.
Yeah, how about you, Shwetha? Because they have the first place and the second place, where you are the third place.
So when I used to go to camp, there would always be like elderly people, teaching. So you have to be super duper respectful. You can't say like, hang out with them. They're like teachers. They have to mingle with the teachers and you'd have to mingle with the students, right? So what the sense of feeling that I had while teaching the kids, where you got to be their best friend too. It wasn't just like teachers are separate and students are separate, So I got to know each kid by how they were learning. So sometimes people are visual learners, sometimes people were listening learners, right? So each time we would, have a good discussion on something, I would know, like, okay, this person really understands something and this person needs a little bit of something to work on. So I just find the same level and then we would work on that. So it was just great to have, companionship with them.
Coming to another aspect of your cousins in India, they would never understand summer jobs. They would never understand running a company. They would never understand you teaching kids of your age or maybe even elder, because I believe Sidharth believes in teaching everyone, not just people younger to him. So, Sidharth, let me start with you again. How did you how do you actually perceive the life of other youngsters like you who have not even thought about working another 10 years, but you have already a company?
Well, I think that if I can do it, I think anyone can, really. And also, teaching doesn't have to be someone who is so much more educated than you, has like decades of years of experience ahead of you. It can just be, a friend helping you with their math homework, or someone who's a bit more educated in something or a bit more experienced in something. They can just give you like a hand, like I'm taking classes in school, and if there's someone beside me who's having a hard time, I might say, hey, maybe this is how you can do it. And that can be a form of teaching too. So um, it doesn't have to be very intimidating for other kids my age to start their own business. If everyone is like has their own passion and hobby, you can turn anything into a business nowadays. You can even make, like, on YouTube channels, you can make some, if you're like, for Nayanika, she likes Bharatanatyam. She's very good at it. She can make some dance tutorial, or Shwetha can make an art tutorial on YouTube. There's so many different options, and I think everyone could start now.
Right. How did your cousins react to the fact that you run a company? You three come together and run a company now. Did they ask for partnership?
They did not. So far, they did not. But I don't know if we've really spoken to, really had a conversation about this. So whenever we talk, we're always talking about, recently we were talking about a movie we saw or something like that. We never talk about anything serious with our cousins in India.
Right. What's your Shwetha?
Just to add on what Sidhu said, we were all, I think, intimidated by how young we were to start a business. And it was especially hard for me because, like I had tennis, I had a lot of things going on. So I was like, I want to do something else for once and just, be able to share a passion that I have with students and to let them understand like different sides of art. It's not just like, oh, painting or, oh, this, So it was just really nice to do that. And yeah, also with the partnership, I don't think we've really talked about that.
Yeah, Shwetha, another thing, your concept, very nice, where the raw material or the resources, what you find around in home, not going and buying a canvas due to COVID times. I really like that concept. So I would like to know more about how you came up with the idea of like what is available and that can be made into art.
Yeah, so the first week I was assuming, people would already have canvases, paints, paintbrushes. After that first week, we had like a meeting, sort of an analysis on how the week went. And then I realized, well, no one really had art supplies, like I did. My parents would go buy them every day, whether I needed, clay or coloring pencils. So I decided to go and do a little bit of research to see, like what are some basic home like supplies that people have, and how can they use it in art. So I think one time I did a craft with the 7 to 9 year olds, and we made a catapult, a miniature catapult, of course. So it was popsicle sticks, which I'm pretty sure every kid has after eating a popsicle, and having some rubber bands, that just like the small things you have at home can make, a masterpiece. So that's what I did to, get the classes more engaging, because also in the first week, not as many people were like engaged, because I had to like, say, okay, you go get a piece of paper and you take a canvas, So I had to, tend to different people. But now that I know, like, using home-based supplies, I can make them all do the things at once and still let them have fun and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. How about Sidharth and Nayanika? Do you attend Shweta's classes, and does Shwetha attend coding classes and the science classes? Do you attend each other's classes?
I want to.
Honestly, it might be too difficult. But I mean, if you guys are willing to learn science, I will teach you. But I think what Shwetha said about, that 1 week, and then the analysis we did goes to show how much trial and error there is in, the process of building a business. And like every single Sunday, at least me and Shwetha would come. I don't know, Sindhu would come every now and then, but we would always get together and talk about, what went well and what didn't go well and how we can actually improve. So I think, when people are trying to start their own businesses, you need to have that mindset of always trying to improve and strive for better.
Yeah, Siddharth.
Yeah, so going back to the topic, you said if we would be interested in going into each other's classes. I haven't really thought about it that much before. I know like Nayanika would not like to be in my class. She would have a bit of a problem with me especially teaching her something. Maybe if it was someone else's coding class, maybe she might attend. But I think I would be open to attending maybe Shwetha's art class, because I enjoy that part, and Nayanika's maybe science. I not like it'll be okay. I won't be that interested, but I might attend.
Okay, so you two, Shwetha and Nayanika, would you like to attend coding classes?
I
Okay,
am sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I am interested in learning coding. I think that it's really it's going to be so much more useful as we continue going. But honestly, I think Sidharth might bully me in the class, and he might be a tough marker, and he'll set me up for failure or something. But I'm very open to learning coding one day. Maybe Sidhu can help me with homework or something.
Oh, nice. Yes, Shwetha.
Okay, so I am like Nenu and Sidhu said, I'm open to learning all like coding and science. Especially, I need a lot of help with science, so I'm gonna go ask Nenu, like maybe after this meeting. Yeah, and I think that now coding is used very often in these like jobs, like computer science, engineering. You need to have that coding base to be even getting a job. So I think that learning coding can help you a lot, especially making a business. You still need coding, right? So I think that's just very useful. And again, I think Sidhu might bully me, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to mention that now that everything is becoming more online, and because of these COVID times, we're all moving online and stuff. Even being just well versed with computers is really a good skill to have, and a lot of people might not know how to use all the Microsoft Word or Google Documents, and even their own Gmail. It's a very useful skill to have, being well versed with computers, I'd say.
Right. Another aspect of your coming together. Each one of you have started a company, well begun, half done. It is well done. You made money. All that excitement, everything happens. Now, personally, I would like to ask, what do you look forward in life to be? Like, is steam engine the future for you, or do you have personal passions, each of you, would you like to pursue, and what would you like to become when you, I would really say, yeah, when you grow up? Because already you're grown ups, you're business people, you're entrepreneurs. So, but still, when age wise, when you grow up, what would you like to become? Let me start with the arts teacher, Shwetha.
I do have my personal passion, but I guess with steam engine, as we get older, we'll get more educated on our topics that we are teaching in steam engine. And I think so over the years, when we teach steam engine, we'll do more marketing, and we'll get more people to come in. And as we can handle more people, we'll be able to, like become a successful, even more successful than we are right now. And I think that's a good thing. And following up, my personal things that I want to do, I like dancing and singing, so I might want to go into like that type of industry, or either do computer science in university.
Okay, how about you, Nayanika?
So in the future, when I grow up, like you said, I do want to work in healthcare and medicine. It's something that's really, really interesting to me. And in my family itself, I have lots of healthcare professionals that I can look up to. So I do think that that is something that I want to pursue in the future. However, for the steam engine, I honestly, I think that we can turn it into from a synchronous to an asynchronous learning model, because Sidharth, Shwetha, and I talk about this all the time. Ever since COVID, we were able to see how kids learn on their own without that constant supervision of their teachers. So with that, like Sidharth and I, we did our first year of high school completely on our own, really. Like it was just, we went on to a 1 hour call and everything we did on our own, right? So we were talking about how the future of education could be a lot more synchronous. So with the steam engine, even if we're old and in university and all that, we can still be helping children learn asynchronously. And I think that's something that we're really interested in doing, especially with the brand of steam engine.
Yeah, to that.
Yeah, so I'm very interested in the coding aspect, and I'd love to that's my dream, to get a job in the computer programming, computer science area. I've been both my parents have worked with computers, and I've been, I've had experience with it now with coding and going to lessons and all that. So I'd really love to do something with that. If I can't, become a professional soccer player. That's like just a childhood dream, I guess. But with the steam engine, I think that it is something that we can always come back to. It's like it's like one of our passion projects, I say, to give young kids the same passion that all three of us had. Whether it was me, I had my coding passion, Shwetha had her art, Nayanika had science. It's to really inspire young kids to, that show them that, oh, these things are cool too. And if you'd like, give them an option to learn more about it, because in school there is art and science in school. Science is more predominantly in school, but coding isn't something that's in school very much, so there's not much learning there. And art isn't something you can really fully get immersed in at school. So I think steam engine is a very good place where young kids can come and actually gain a passion for it.
It's more of fun to be with teachers who are of your age, and when they really open up. We talked about analysis, meetings, pre-production during the course of teaching, all that. But do you find, is there something like a kind of an oddity that you find difficult to adjust with each other? Like, what are the negatives of coming together? Like three different people, two from Ottawa and one from Toronto. So how do you actually find, is there anything which has been detrimental, which created some kind of problem between you three?
I wouldn't say that anything was detrimental, but they do say that you should never mix family and business. The only reason why I bring that up is that, I mean, as much as it was good working with people I was related to that I could call whenever, it was kind of awkward sometimes to change my relationship with them. This is going to sound so weird, but, at some point, when I wanted to divide the work that we had to do, and then I had to change my like mindset into like from their cousin to their colleague, and then go, okay, so by Friday we should do this. And then that initially was so awkward. I felt so uncomfortable doing that with Sidharth, who was trying to, make fun of me. And I was like, we have to do this work. And then, but as we kept going, we were able to smoothly transition between, cousin relationship and colleague relationship. And we knew what, our responsibilities were. So yeah, it was difficult at first, with just, getting into that mindset. But as we kept practicing, we were good by the end of it.
Yeah, Shwetha. Do they annoy you?
Yeah, it was also very, very difficult because I kept on thinking Nanu into this like, oh, they're my cousins, you should be nice to them, like, make them, I should take the workload and all that instead of like, okay, colleague, we should split the work, It was very awkward. I was just like, I was the clueless one here, so I was just like, what?
Yeah, Sidhu.
Yeah, can you hear the rain? Sorry, there's a big like storm going outside my house. So yeah, we're all very close in age, like we're only 1 month apart. So we were all very close to begin with. So I wouldn't say anything bad happened, but maybe it's just, because we were working together, we have to actually see, okay, who would be better at doing this job, who would be better at doing this job, instead of just saying like, oh, we're 3 people, let's just go and do it, whatever. You have to actually analyze and see, okay, you know what? Nayanika is very good at the business and marketing side of it. Shwetha is very good at the advertisement portion. She's very good at making advertisements, actually. I might be more good at, making like content or something for us. So you really have to tailor it to each other's, what's it called? Sorry, I forget the word for it, but yeah, talents.
No, I find it very interesting. We have a scientist who is an artist. We have a singer who wants to be a medical professional who is a business person. And we have a coding soccer player. Now, these kind of combinations, that is the speciality of Steam Engine. And I would like to know from you, what real-time business, when you look outside, many businesses fail because they do not accept each other. Do you really feel that being cousins or being just a month apart or able to share ideas or maybe catering to the same age group is what helped you, or what are the things which helped you in moving forward?
I think we talked about how being cousins was bad, but being cousins was also really good working with the children, because even, as we were teaching, a lot of the students that we had were related to each other. So when we told them, oh, all of your teachers are actually, we've known each other since the day we were born, they were so much more connected to us, right? Because they also have cousins and they also are close with their cousins. So I think, like Shwetha said, it really helps you connect with the student when, we're younger and we fight with each other during the break time, and we'll complain about each other's song choices, and they'll see that this is what I do with my cousins too. So that really helped break the ice with the kids and make them a lot more comfortable, as well as as I was, like Sidharth said, like we know each other well enough to know what each of us will handle better. So we always left Sidharth with like the more talking to people and networking and making sure that our club gets out there, while I kind of handled all the spreadsheets. I must have sent them at least like 15 spreadsheets over the course of a month. And I got Shwetha to make these. She made so many advertisements. We knew that what we were good with, so that really helped us out in making the business take off.
Anything to add on that, Sidharth?
Yeah, I'd also like to say that because we were cousins, it's not like we were coming in and meeting complete strangers that we were about to work with, they're not, we already had that initial icebreaker for the past 14, 15 years of our life. So we already knew each other very well and we were comfortable with working with each other, I think.
Shwetha.
Yeah.
No, they summed it all up. They really did.
Okay, now let me come into the last portion where your passion, probably like Shwetha is into art, Sidhu is into coding and soccer. Nayanika, you are a singer. So can our audience get to listen to something special? Yeah, I like that smile, Shwetha.
You'll make me sing now.
Yeah.
I haven't. He's laughing. I have not prepared anything to sing. Oh man, I haven't even gone to music class in so long.
That's okay. We're not having a reality show or no contest, no who becomes a millionaire, nothing. It's just going to be like fun. It's we just want to listen to a singer who is a businesswoman who is going to be a medical practitioner.
Can't I just tell you about my anatomy knowledge?
Yeah, because I heard you talk about the right brain, left brain, how the right brain works, left brain works. And usually, like, it just burns up the brain. And just to ease it down, probably a few lines, whichever is your favorite song.
Shwetha, Sidharth, would you like to sing with me?
Yeah, they should.
Sing what?
Yeah, it might be hard with the, syncing. Yeah. So I think Nayanika, you should go.
Yeah.
Oh, something I'd like to mention that's really funny. Nayanika and Shwetha, they're all like Bharatanatyam trained dancers, and our parents, whenever we used to get together, they always used to make them, practice. And they would always be like, oh my God, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to practice. And I'd just go and like, hey, we can practice. And then I'd go pretend to like Bharatanatyam, do this fake Bharatanatyam because I was never classically trained or whatever. So, that always used to break the ice, and then they'd all start laughing, and then they'd have to go practice and the mood kind of shifts. But maybe, Nayanika, you can do some lines, and then, Shwetha can do some lines, and I can maybe, not do any lines. But
that's nice. I know how the steam engine meetings go on now, because that's when you have a problem, how it is analyzed, how it is solved, who puts in what. That's what I'm getting to know. But yeah, the solution.
Growing up, Sidhu was always like so the three of us are a month apart, right? So we always were, together at all times. So growing up, Sidharth was always the troublemaker, class clown type person. And, Shwetha and I, we both did Bharatanatyam, and then, our moms would always make us practice together. Then, another thing was, as we all started to do sports, Sidharth came over a couple weeks ago, and then he claimed to know Taekwondo better than I do, even though I have been training in Taekwondo for almost 4 years now. And then he would pretend to, get ready to fight. So even now, there's still that dynamic. So I think that even coming to a business, having that, the dynamics with each other that we've known so well for so long, it really helped us with
that doesn't solve the problem of you singing.
Really.
I can't believe this. So Shwetha, would you like to start, and then I can maybe sing?
I have been singing, but I sang very high pitch, so my voice is kind of gone. I know you can do this, Nair.
Is there anything that you would like me to sing in general? I'm not sure what to do
Yeah, which
with
was
this
your favorite
question.
song? Yeah.
My favorite song? I'm so sorry. This is so awkward. I have no idea what to do right now. I was not mentally prepared for this question.
That's
Um,
you think
uh,
it's
okay, next time I'll have it prepared for you.
okay. Next time is we're going to sing another song. And now, whichever is your favorite, a few lines. Yeah, Sidharth, you can suggest. Probably like
Yeah, I'll give
something.
you a song, Nayanika. But I'll give you something simple. Just do the national anthem for Canada.
Oh,
Yeah, very.
Oh my. Okay, I'll sing national anthem. That I'll sing. Okay. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us come and yeah, there you go. I won't sing the whole thing.
real fun talking to you three cousins, and Steam Engine should keep rolling and keep the steam on, and teach a lot of people, have a lot of fun. And I'm sure I'm going to see an artist scientist in a few years from now, a doctor, businesswoman, singer in Nayanika in another few years, a coding soccer player, probably playing official football or official soccer very soon. So thank you very much, and I really enjoyed being in the Steam Engine journey, and wish you all the best.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you.